How do you see the response of European Union about the war in Ukraine? Was the European Union help enough?
First of all, I would love to start from the fact that I'm very grateful to all the European Union countries and to the European Union institutions and the politicians who are trying to do their most in order to help Ukraine and in order to help my country. But I would say that, and considering they have already done a lot and they have already done things which seem to be impossible before, there is always a room to do more. And that's what me as a civil society representative here in Brussels, a Ukrainian in Brussels, as well as my friends and colleagues are trying to call for. So we're super grateful for all the sanctions. We're grateful for the European Parliament approval of Ukrainian candidacy status when it comes to joining the European Union in future. We're also grateful for all the condemnation support and all the individual things which the member states are doing, but there's a room to do more and there is no time. And that's, I think, the issue, because the European Union usually takes a lot of time to implement things that they promise, to implement the sanctions, to implement the policies. But this time, Ukraine does not have anymore.
Yeah, for example, what should European Union do more for Ukraine?
What the European Union, the first demand which the Ukrainians are asking for is a no-fly zone. Considering knowing all the sensitivities, this is really very hard and this is very sensitive topic, and there is no way that we would love the Third World War to start. There is no way we would love to other countries to be involved, but unfortunately the reality is that they already are involved, that the war is already happening, and this war is not only about Russia and Ukraine anymore. This war is about Russia and Europe and the whole democratic world, and those countries are already involved in this. So Ukraine is doing as much as it's possible, and Ukraine is good on the ground, on the land territories, but unfortunately the air, the sky is something where Ukrainian forces are still very vulnerable. Therefore, we need the support of the European countries on this by enforcing the no-fly zone or any creative way how this can go about. The second, the sanctions which were imposed are already working, but we need more. We need more sanctions, and we need those sanctions in order to make the Russian people go on the streets and demand for the change of the government, because they are not aware of what's happening because of the huge propaganda and disinformation which is happening in Russia. And in order for that to happen, we do not have time anymore to try to fight the information warfare. We already lost it. And the only way how we can make it happen is to impose even stricter sanctions, even more harsh sanctions on Russian population for them to really see the results and go on the streets now. So the sanctions and the no-fly zone are the two options.
Should European Union expect a large wave of refugees now from Ukraine, and how are they going to prepare in that case?
I would not want to talk about the refugees topics because for me personally, this is not a refugee question at the moment. Ukrainians who are fleeing right now are the displaced people, and they are all going to come back to Ukraine, or the majority for sure, because in Ukraine we'll leave our homes, we'll leave our jobs. The families still stay in Ukraine, and even if they would have to leave because of the situation becoming impossible in my hometown, they would come back. So I think that temporarily with what is happening right now, European solidarity is huge. The border countries like Poland, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Czech Republic are doing a lot, and they are helping Ukrainians who have moved there for now. This for sure will not be the case for a longer time. And again, I think that the people are going to be back. So I think with what the situation looks like right now at the moment, the European Union is prepared, they are ready, and they're doing the most they can. But I think this is just the temporary solution that will be needed.
Do you have any family left in Ukraine? If yes, where are they at the exact moment, and how are they coping with the situation?
My family is living in a small town in the west, and they are for now fine because my town is not anyhow militarily or industrially strategic town. therefore they are also staying at home, and they are safe. But my friends with whom I live here and with whom I talk here a lot, their families are in Kharkiv, in Kiev, in Chernihiv, and in all those cities where you read the news and they are being bombarded every hour, every few minutes. People have to go and hide in the basements of the houses, and the situation is just critical. So the stories which I read about those people, this is not a life anymore. They were not prepared. Like the first time when we heard the sirens on Thursday last week, we did not expect this will last for a week. So people left without anything. People left without food. They left without water, without medicine, without clothes. And those are small kids who are suffering, for getting sick. And I think at this point, in addition to the war which is happening, there is already a humanitarian disaster, because there is no way how water, food can be delivered to those people, how medicine is going to be delivered to people. And therefore I'm saying that the time is now, because it's only minutes and hours since those people are going to start dying, not because of the bombs and the shelters, but because they have no food, no electricity, and no water.